So, I have got back from the Utrecht Special event, and it was a really, really fun tournament. It was great to be casting again. But in a few of the games, I found myself asking the same question multiple times. And that was, how necessary was Talonflame to be brought to that match? Because most of the times that Talonflame was on stream, or at least the teams that had Talonflame and they were on stream, they would bring Talonflame to the game every single time and it would just do nothing. And another Pokemon would have been better. And I don't want that to be the case with my team. So I think Talonflame is still fine. But yeah, I'm trying to find a Pokemon for that 6th slot. I've had multiple ideas. Like, you can see, I've had multiple ideas about it. But yeah, I don't think that Talonflame is necessary. And in my practice, I haven't found Talonflame to be necessary either. So I want a 6th Mon to be able to solve that. I've gone through a load of things like Breloom, Focus Sash, Mach Punch, Adamant Mach Punch. You have to be Adamant, not Jolly. Adamant Mach Punch, Okos Chi-Yu, if they got no bulk. And it obviously gets Chien Pao. So Breloom could be quite nice with the Instruction of Ruin Pokemon. It also, like, keeping in mind Hex, that's the big thing. Like, if I can get another status move on the team, I will absolutely take it. So, yeah. Breloom could be quite nice. Brute Bonnet could be quite nice as well. Like the standard stuff for spores and all that as well. Klefki can spam Thunder Waves, potentially. It can go for Metal Sounds to interact with the Chi-Yu and the Fluttermane and the Glamora as well, which could be quite nice. Spamming Prank Thunder Waves is pretty good. And just filler move, haven't worked it out. Like, these are just, like, slapped on at the moment. It's like, Tinkertoon could be good, because that gets Thunder Wave. That could be alright. Mousehole gets Thunder Wave, so I could get Wide Ends Thunder Wave and pair that with Population Bomb, so then that could be pretty good as well. What else? Galaze gets Thunder Wave and Encore as well. Probably not. But, yeah, this is the big thing. So I've done a bit of practice at the gym, like a reasonable, like I've been back for quite a few days, like a week at this point. So I've done quite a few practice games at the gym with this version. So this is what I've been playing around with so far. This has been cool. Like, the jetpack with close combat is pretty sweet. Because, like, I feel like Fluttermane is one of the not so good Pokemon for this team at the moment. Like, it's manageable for sure. Like, if I get a Thunder Wave on it, I just beat it easily. But if I'm in a position where suddenly both Pokemon are in, like, Choice Spec, Staz, and Gleam range, then that's terrible. So, the idea was that Iron Hands are still going to be good against things, but would be a Steel Terror type so that it can just take on Fluttermanes and then Heavy Slam. Oh, I can't have the Assault Vest because that's definitely on Glamora. Like, this is on the team for sure with Assault Vest. So then what item do I want? And then I just think about items. Then suddenly a Jetpack pops into my head with Close Combat, and then you can still Volt Switch without Volt Switch. Like, actually do damage with Volt Switch, which is, like, not too bad. And it's definitely come into play in quite a few games. I don't know if it's correct, though. At least if it is those, like, the other 5. I've been holding on to the other 5 because I do really like them. But, like, I don't know if they're completely necessary. Like, I just started throwing out ideas. Magnezone, maybe. Sizzle, maybe. Like, that resists Fluttermane. Because the Fairy has been the awkward thing. But got to the point where maybe I need to start interacting with the other 5 Pokemon and finding potential replacements. So, Fluttermane and Glamora are, like, I think that it would be an entirely different team if I changed either of those Pokemon now. Like, obviously I didn't start with Glamora, I had Sandy Shocks at the start. But Glamora has been so good with the Hex. Gyarados has been very good. I don't want to get rid of that. The initial idea, like, who knows if that's going to be a thing. Steel-type Iron Heads just to keep Steel-type. But yeah, Gyarados has been very good. Like, really good. I really want to keep Gyarados. Baxcalibur, I really like as well. That has been really good. Chi-Yu has been not bad. So I feel like that is the most replaceable. Like, it's been pretty good. And here's a bulky spread that I've been testing out, like, as well. All these thoughts that I just, like, briefly glossing over. But yeah, Chi-Yu has been pretty good. Been alright. I feel like this is the most replaceable Mon on the team, though. If it, like, out of the 5, like, the 6th slot is still way up in the air. But I feel like that's the most replaceable Mon. And the thinking of it is that, like, I need more Fairy Resists. I've got Glamora, which is alright. I could have a Steel Terror type, which will be alright. But Chi-Yu is a Fire type that should resist Fairy and doesn't. So that's the main thought at the moment. So, so I've had the thought of, like, okay, I could change Chi-Yu and let's see where this goes. And now I'm back home. Like, I thought I might as well just start recording so I can capture what I'm doing live. So, this is my thought process. Okay, right. Let's get a fire type that is going to be resisting Chi-Yu. I've already looked through this, so I know what I'm going to go, where I'm going to go from here. I like Sarah Ledge a lot. I like it a lot, but Ting Lu has been annoying. Like, I don't know why Ting Lu is the Pokemon that's been annoying as well. Like, Fluttermane's been annoying. Ting Lu has been the most annoying Pokemon, for sure. So, I want something that's still good against that. Having as few ground weaknesses as possible is ideal, I think. Obviously, I can Terra Grass with Chi-Yu, and that's fine. But Volcarona is the main standout at the moment. Like, it hasn't really impressed me by being the support set. So, the idea would definitely be the Quiver set, for sure. So, Volcarona will still keep somewhat of what that slot was doing. Like, if I get a Quiver Dance up, that, like, one Quiver Dance, that would probably match the power of Chi-Yu. It will also add another Protect to the team, which is obviously a good thing. And then you are still going to be good against the Ruin Pokemon, because Bug Buzz is good against Dark types. So that Volcarona might be buffed a little bit with the introduction of the Ruin Pokemon. So this is just me throwing out ideas at the moment. This is now me back to live team building. So... oh yeah, Bug Buzz. I don't know if I would want Heat Wave or Flamethrower, just because I'm really trying to limit the inaccurate moves on my team. Like, this is 100%, this is 100%, 100%. Who knows what this could be? I don't know if Brute Bonnet is the initial staying thing at the moment, because the thought of Volcarona was, oh, I'm losing the Dark type. One of the Pokemon that I was considering in that slot that is a Dark type is Brute Bonnet. And also, the thought that brought this all together. Hex is one of the main points of the team. Flame Body burns. Toxic Debris Mortal Spin poisons. Thunder Wave paralysis. Spore sleep. And like obviously Freeze is a random thing, but those are the 4 big status moves, all on one team, ready for Hex Fluttermane. So I hope that Volcarona could be good in this slot, because like Chi-Yu has been pretty good, but I need better, I think. And like the final thought of, oh, Flame Body can get some burns. Oh, that is all 4 of the status moves. Like, surely that's got to be something looking into even further. But I haven't gone beyond this. So let's see. So Brute Bonnet goes there alphabetically. Volcarona goes there alphabetically. So if I am sacrificing Chi-Yu, I would ideally want to keep a Dark type for sure. And that Dark type could be Brute Bonnet, and it could be King Gambit, I think are the main standouts that I've seen at the moment. Because King Gambit would offer not a fairy weakness as well, and would, like, bob Fluttermanes. So King Gambit could be good there as well. But we will see. But this completes Firewall's Growth without the need for Terror, which is quite nice. But yeah, focus on Volcarona. So I think the lefties is one of the better sets. Does it have to be lefties? Because that's just been a default at the moment, and I don't want to necessarily have to just go for default. So, leftovers. That's definitely been my go-to, for most Volcaronas at this point. And what spread would I need? Because I've been trying out, bulky Volcaronas. Like, with the Quiver Dance, I need at least 138, I think? Need at least that. I'll outspeed Iron Bundle, and I don't know if I need to go any further. Although that is... choice, Adamant Choice Scarf, Great Tusk, so I might as well go 1 point faster than that. EV spread is done at the end, so I'll come back to that. Terra type, Grass and Water are both the standouts. So I'll just go Water for now. Yeah, so is it Heat Wave or Flamethrower? / Fiery Dance, but I'll probably go Flamethrower over Fiery Dance because it's inconsistent. Could go Throat Spray with the Bug Buzz. That means I've got no recovery at all. Have to have Morning Sun. Probably not, but... yeah, because if I have Brute Bonnet as the 6th and Volcarona over Chi-Yu, then suddenly I've got 4 Protects on the team, which is much better. I don't think I could change that. Terra Blast / Iron Head, depending. But Thunder Wave and Helping Hand would be very good. Waterfall is obviously mandatory. And Assault Vest you can't protect, but having a Protect in open team sheet is very good, because then if they know that you don't have Protect, then they can just always double the slots. So, like, Protect is better on open team sheets now. I haven't felt it necessary in Generation 8, but then maybe that's why I just did so badly in Generation 8, because I just didn't have Protect on anything. But, yeah, that seems alright. I'll be spread later. So, if it were Volcarona, in fact, let me just move Volcarona back to this and have Brute Bonnet as the 6th slot. Because this is still the 6th slot Pokemon, so I'll alphabetical order it later. So, oh, I copied it wrong. Oh well. Just move that back and then we're sorted. So, I would want to keep a Dark type. Ideally, it's still somewhat supportive, because Gyarados has been good support. Ideally, it's a little bit more support slow. If it's King Gambit, I lose support, but probably gain some good things for the team. Like, Gyarados might be enough support. It's been very good at it. So, King Gambit. But the issue with King Gambit, actually, would be that I don't have Assault Vest available on King Gambit, and that's its best item. Safety Goggles is fine. Black Glasses is fine. Like, I'll come back to that. But, like, I'm very confident I want a Dark type still. Like, Dark is a good type to have. Although, to be fair, Psy Spam is surely going to drop off a little bit. A lot. So, could be Grimmsnarl spamming Thunderwave. Could I fit a Steel type onto the team again? Let me look at the Steel types I've been considering. If it were Volcarona. Still like Tinkerton. Just having Fake Out is good. Although having a Steel type, like, I can Terra the Gyarados, but having a Steel type is less necessary now, I think, that if it were Volcarona over Chi-Yu, then that is another Fairy resistance. So, oh, also, haven't mentioned, Baxcalibur, Ice type Terra. So it's actually technically a defensive Terra for it, while also being an offensive one, because this will allow it to survive a Moonblast. Like Ghost survived a Moonblast, it was neutral. Ice Terra, Moonblast does exactly the same amount of damage and actually takes on Fluttermane even better, because then you don't get weak to the Shadow Balls. And then you actually get some pretty strong Ice Shards and Icicle Spears. So I've been liking Ice Terra at the moment on the Baxcalibur, and I'm likely to stick with it. Right, where did my thought go? What was I doing? Steel type? But then I was saying it may not be as necessary. I feel like I've been feeling like a grounds type might be good on the team. But most of the ground types are pretty bad. Like, Great Tusk is the go-to. And to be fair, fighting type is not too bad. Focus Sash is available. I feel like I'd want Choice Scarf if it's Great Tusk. Because I'd want to outspeed Fluttermane so that I can just pop them first. And then it wouldn't matter that I'm weak to Fairy if the Fluttermane has been KO'd. Ground type. Garchomp. I don't think I need it on this team. Tinglu has been annoying. Is it worth considering me using it as well, given that I just said I wanted a ground type and a dark type? Reducing my own special attack is not ideal, given that I've got 3 special attackers. If it were Tinglu, what would I run? The idea that I've had is Weakness Policy, because it actually survives the super effective hits really comfortably. The other one I thought about is just Choice Band. Like, this is, like, because Assault Vest is very good on it, but Assault Vest is taken. So, I am having Assault Vest Clamora. So, yeah, because I've got one thing to Earthquake. I've technically got 2. Earthquake and Grass-type Clamora would not be the worst thing. This has Protect, this has Protect, this has Protect, so I can definitely get away with Earthquake. I could get away with it more if I Choice Band. Well, actually, no, if I Choice Banded it, then I have to Earthquake myself. So I'd 1 Stomping Tantrum as well. There it is. Throat Chop and Heavy Slam. That would be incredibly easy. Where's Throat Chop? Alphabet Store, obviously. Because its attack stat is entirely respectable. Like, if it's at max, then that's actually got exactly the same actual stat as my Gyarados. So that's surely got to be acceptable if the Gyarados is acceptable. So, yeah, then you get, like, Grey Bulk. Obviously, that's not optimized at all, but, like, it's very good bulk. So if it's very difficult to KO it and then you've got a choice band behind you, that's actually doing very noticeable damage. And I would surely turn this into a steel type for very heavy, like, strong heavy slams, and then that would potentially add the steel type on the team as well. That's worth considering, but the Vessel of Ruin reducing my damage output is off-putting. So therefore I'm running Crocodile. I mean, to be fair, double Intimidate's not bad. But if this had high horsepower still, I would probably consider this, like, quite strongly. But this also has the same issue where it has to be Earthquake and Stomping Tantrum. So, does not really do it. So yeah, no, it's not going to be Crocodile. Other ground types. I could go back to Sandy Shocks. But Life Orb is on the Excalibur now, so I can't Life Orb this. So then what item would I choose? Because I can't have Booster... Like, I want Booster Energy Flutter Mane. Like, I definitely want Booster Energy Flutter Mane. Oh, also, another thing I haven't mentioned. I've increased the special attack a little bit because I've noticed that a lot of Flutter Manes, the EV spreads I've been seeing have been, like, hovering around here. So I'm trying to speed creep most Flutter Manes that are not timid. So, in order to do that, I want the special attack boost as well. So I need 2 EVs per 1 speed increase because I need to keep special attack matching at least the speeds. Then therefore I just have no special bulk available. Still carrying good the Sandy Shocks, but it didn't impress me. That's the issue. Could go... Well, Choice Specs is free, actually. Because I was going to say I couldn't be Choice Specs before, but Choice Specs is now free. That's the best Earth Power, isn't it? Oh, come on. Why do we have to... Why do they have all the unreleased things? It's really annoying. And grounds, yeah, it's going to be the strongest. It is the strongest one. Yeah, the drop-off is significant there. Could be Toadscruel. I like Toadscruel. Yeah, this lot can be physical or special. I've got 3 to 2, so 4 to 2 is fine, 3-3 is ideal, so like, it doesn't really matter. It could be Choice Specs. So now I'm wary of having both stabs having an immunity. Like, if I'm locked in Thunderbolt, I can't hit grounds, and if I'm locked into Earth Power, I can't hit flying types. So I'm wary of choicing Sandy Shocks because of that. Because electric and ground cover each other pretty well, except for grass. I think the grass is okay, though, because I've got Excalibur, and I've got Volcarona, and I've got Glimora, and I potentially have Terra Blast Gyarados. It just depends. So... yeah, I mean, Sandy Shocks makes sense still, but it didn't impress me previously. But then again, that was because it was in the Glimora slot. So, what was that one? It was just Life Orb Flash Cannon, wasn't it? Yeah, it's Terra Steel still. Like I said, I still wanted that slot to be somewhat supportive if possible. Kingambit gets Thunderwave, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. That'd be funny. I think the most likely thing at the moment is like starting with Brute Bonnet, because the idea of having all of the status moves is pretty funny. Still could be Breloom, because Breloom would still do that as well. It wouldn't have a Dark type anymore. But Breloom is not too bad. Like, it seems like this would be the time for Breloom if there were to be one. Something to keep in mind as well. It doesn't have to run Mach Punch. Like, the one I got Night the Worlds with was superpower instead of close combat, but I don't think it gets it anymore. But yeah, like imagine that is superpower. It was Spore and it was Helping Hand. Where is it? There it is. Where's it gone? Close combat, Spore, and Helping Hand. Like superpower over close combat. Obviously, you run close combat now, but I didn't run Mach Punch on my Breloom. I mean, that was like Breloom was a 6th Pokemon on that team as well, and that did not require Mach Punch for that team. So, because I needed to be able to get Oko a Stack Attacker in Psychic Terrain, because like against the Psy Spam Ultra Necrozma team, you're not Mach Punching a Stack Attacker, and who cares if you are? It will shrug it off. So it had to be superpower. So I could still run Mach Punchless, so that I'm actually stronger against other things generally. But I think I would surely start with Mach Punch if it were Breloom. Be Ghost. That would be the best thing so you don't get faked out. Ghost. And the Adamant calc is good. There's not much in between Adamant and Jolly Breloom. I feel like that would not be bad either. So just as the starting point, I feel like that those make sense. But like with the idea of like Fire Water Grass is lovely, and also that I have all like forget Freeze. I have all 4 status moves, like the big ones. So obviously Freeze is a pretty big one, but there we go. Let's put Blizzard on this and back Excalibur then I'm sorted. But Icicle Spear, definitely. If it were to be these, Brute Bonnet or Breloom, what would be the main decider? If it were those, I should probably seriously test out Steel Gyarados so that I can still have a Steel type on the team. Because Breloom and Brute Bonnet should not be Steel types. Brute Bonnet can get away with it, but Poison's way better. Brute Bonnet defensively is significantly better because it actually has bulk. Breloom must run the Focus Sash. But Breloom is slightly faster. So it would make use of Thunder Waves a bit more. Like it would be able to outspeed an Okoa, Fluttermane, and Iron Bundle if they have had the Focus Sash, they have been Thunder Waved. The Focus Sash doesn't need to be broken, you can just Bullet Seek them. Brute Bonnet will be able to survive them if I Terra. So the Fairy Zip resistance doesn't matter. Against Ting Lus, then... Well, most of them seem to be Terra Poison. So then if they Terra Poison, then I just Sporing and the other Pokemon deal with it. So then is if they stay in regular form, then I can Mach Punch that and I can Bullet Seek with either. So, and if they Terra Poison, it makes no difference because both are bad against it. So that's not an important thing. I think we'll have to have an actual play around with these. Were it to be Volcarona, that is. Like, Chi-Yu has been good, and I feel like it's pretty reasonable that that slot would end up being Chi-Yu. But, like, I feel like I've just got a little bit stuck, like, at this point. Like, there's still some things to be patched, and if it were those 5, I've had a proper think of what this 6 slot should be. I haven't practiced with a few of these. Like, maybe one of these is actually the correct thing. But it feels like I needed to look at the other 5. Volcarona was the most logical that I could see while keeping the team as close to the same as possible. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go away and have another think. Maybe practice at the gym a little bit more.